A very good morning to everyone. My name is Prisha Gupta, and I will be taking care of your demo session today for Power Platform. In the demo session, I would just cover what is the syllabus and what are the expectations set to be covered in the training. With that, I will also cover one of the advanced topics that will not be a part of training, but a good to know information when we are working with Power Platform, so that once we go live, we have a background of what we are learning and what is expected out of us. Please feel free to stop me when and where you have a doubt or any question. And I would actually request everyone to be attentive and have a two-way conversation so that I understand whether you are understanding what I'm saying or there is a gap so that I can give some more details. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, Prisha.
Thank you. All right. So the syllabus that we will be covering in our training, which is Go Live, would be more of overview of Power Platform, where I'll be taking you through the admin center, the environments, the solution, how do we work with solution. This is just the overview. We will actually deep dive the entire 1 hour every day in these sessions. Once we have a Power Platform overview, we will look into the difference of Canvas app and model-driven apps. And with the Canvas app, how are we going to develop the app, the UI elements, the properties, functions, all of it. And ALM services, when I say ALM, the entire application lifecycle management from developing to testing and to deployment, I mean in production. That will be like a guide for you. We will also work on one live app with the sessions that we take. So there will be tasks whenever, when and where we are learning something new so that you get a chance to do it practically and you can come up with your questions. Then we will be moving to model-driven apps. I will show you how we design a model-driven app because it is more towards data-driven. So there is not much of development in model-driven apps. It is no code. We basically have forms, views, and tables in model-driven app, and there will be some business rules and business process flows that we follow. We will take through that and also one live application and model-driven app on the go. After that, we would move to Power Automate. Power Automate for cloud flows only. That will be instant, automated, and scheduled flows. There will be optimization concept based on each flow that we create in the session. There will be examples of how an instant works, automate works, and the scheduler works, and some best practices to be followed whenever we are working with Power Automate. The overview of the concept itself will be the beginning of the next slide, which is a demo session. So you will get a high level understanding of Power Automate there. Then we will move to Power Virtual Agents, which is a chatbot, and we will be working on how it works with Power Apps in our sessions. Once we are done with this, we will have one dummy app, or you can say a demo app created in Canvas, model driven flows, model driven app and flows as well. Then I will also simultaneously with our training sessions, I will take you through the interview concepts, but by the end of our training, I will give you a handbook which shows conceptual questions based on each concept so that you are ready for your interview preparations. Also, I will be providing the PL 900 preparatory guide and how we should overcome the amount of certification through some tricks and tips. So we can actually waive off the certification amount itself for PL 900, and I can guide you through that. All right, so this will be the syllabus that we will be covering in our live sessions once we go live. But before we go to the live sessions, today we have a demo session, and demo session is more on the advanced Power Automate desktop. I will be covering what is Power Automate and Power Automate desktop here. So to be precise, Power Automate, the word itself means automation, and it is split into these three types: cloud flows, desktop flows, and business process flows. In our training sessions, we will be looking into cloud and business process. However, today I will just give you a gist of what is desktop flows so that whenever you talk, you have a understanding of RPA. The word RPA is robotic process automation, which comes with Power Automate Desktop. It is desktop automation, hyper automation. So there are very fancy words in the market. Whenever you go for job searches, you will see hyper automate candidate, RPA candidate, desktop automation candidate. So that is more of desktop flows. So it also includes cloud flows, business process flows with it. So to be very precise, automate cloud flows are working with an event-based automation. For example, an email arrives, the flow will get triggered. Any update in the database, flow will get triggered. Those flows are called as automated cloud flows. It is an automation on the cloud which is triggering the flow. Then we have next type of cloud flow, which is the instant cloud flow, which will work on the click of a button. This usually works with Power Apps. Whenever a button is clicked, we want the flow to be initialized. Maybe just for example, an approval to be done. So I have filled in some details on my app and I have a button which says send for approval. The moment I click on that button, my flow will get triggered and the automation will start. Then next we have the scheduled cloud flows. It is actually an event based. For example, I want an email to be sent to me every day at 1 p.m. for a reminder to update my details or something. That can be done using a scheduled cloud flow. This has a frequency of 1 minute, hours, seconds, not seconds, sorry, minute, hour, days, and weeks, months as well. So we can schedule our flows in Power Automate using the scheduled cloud flows. Moving to desktop flows usually works with the desktop automation. When I say desktop automation, all the clicks that you do on your desktop can be done with desktop flows. So we do have drag and drop feature in desktop flows. I will take you through the tool in our live sessions. If at all we get a chance to go through Power Automate Desktop, I will just give you an overview of it. I will not be able to log into the tool right now because of the credentials. And once we are there, I do have the screenshots. I'll be showing you in the next few slides how it looks. But yeah, just to give you a gist, any clicks that you do on your desktop can be automated. For example, every day you just coming in and opening Excel on your screen, copying the data from Excel, moving it to uh, say OneDrive and stuff like that, that can be automated through Power Automate Desktop. These are some limitations of cloud flows which we have overcome with desktop flows. You might have a question, if we are going to learn cloud flows, why is she taking us through desktop flows today? The reason is we need to understand what are the limitations as well of cloud flow so that whenever we are working in our organization, we can come up with a solution of desktop flows as well. So that's the reason you should have at least a high level understanding where the cloud flows will not work and we have to move to desktop flows. So desktop flows is Power Automate Desktop, the one that I said. Then we have Selenium IDE, which will help you test your applications. Some applications like we do unit testing in all the applications developed can be done through Power Automate Desktop. It actually reduces the human efforts of unit testing and the desktop automation takes care of it. Then we have the Windows Recorder. The Windows Recorder actually will record all your clicks. Say you have 10 clicks that you're doing and it will repeat the same process for you. I go to my browser, that is one click. I put in the URL, that's one click. I say google.com. I search for Power Automate Desktop, that's my third input, and OK will be my fourth click. All of these things are recorded by the Windows Recorder, the third type of desktop flow, and the same will be repeated when you are implementing it in your desktop flow. So this will be more of a robotic process automation, and whatever flows that we create from desktop flows are called as bots, like the robots. Okay. Then we have business process flow. Business process flow is basically a step by step process that we want to follow. For example, if I have an application, uh, organization is using an application and it is given to the candidate to fill in some details. Once the candidate fills in some details, it will then go to the HR. The HR will validate and then go to the admin. Here, the business process flow will be until the employee doesn't fills in the details, it will not go to the HR. Until the HR doesn't fills in the details, it will not go to the admin. So, like a step by step tab to be followed can be done using a business process flow. So, there is basically a AI model which helps the business process flow to be implemented. Any questions so far, team, before I move to the next slide?
Hi, Prisha. This is Rohit here. One quick question.
Yep.
The Power Automate desktop say that what comes with the Windows 11 by default doesn't have this functionality to test, right? It's only for the licensed Power Automate
Yeah,
desktop. Is
for the
there
premium
something that we
ones.
can do with the free version? Or?
So with the free version, we do have Power Automate Desktop and Windows Recorder. But whenever you are working with any organization, they purchase a premium license for you and you get the feature of Selenium IDE. So by default, you will get desktop and Windows Recorder automation inbuilt.
And this M365 E3 license might have it or something like
No,
the
the
license.
E3 license will only have Power Automate Desktop feature and the Windows Recorder feature. E5
Okay,
will also not have Selenium IDE. It is basically the
okay,
Power Automate Premium, which will have the Selenium IDE feature.
okay. That's a very expensive license, right? Right. Okay.
But
Thank you.
yeah, but when we work with organization, they actually prefer purchasing a premium one because it comes with a lot of features for storage as well. I will be showing you in one of the live sessions like how it looks like. I do have a premium license purchased, so I can show that to you how it looks and how it works. You can actually get some notes out of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Rohit. Yeah. All right.
Hello.
So yes, please.
So what about the jobs? Means this two tools is enough to get a job.
If you get a basic level understanding and if the job role requires all of this, you will definitely be able to crack the role. Not an issue. The only thing that you need to have is a confidence when you're talking, because you need to know knowledge with confidence. People actually look for confidence more in the market these days, so they train you once you get onboarded. That should not be a problem. These tools are sufficient to get a job. Yeah.
So what if we are applying fake experience? Then we can manage. We can survive or not?
Fake experience might, I would not really recommend you doing that, but yeah, if you have worked with any organization, if your employment looks valid, you can say that you have a little hands on for some tools. I would not say show experience as an experience. So maybe if you have worked with an organization for last 3 years, you might be working on technical support, but you're moving to RPA now. You can say that you went into trainings and you learned this and you have some experience and you can implement it. So at least you can get a developer role, if not a senior developer role for RPA. So we are not
Okay.
really faking the experience. We have an employment experience. No one actually goes to your organization and check. This is all at a personal level that I'm giving you information. Whenever we hire candidates, we do not go to the organization and check what were they actually working on in that organization. We just check, were they actually working in that organization. That's what it is. So I think that should not be a problem for you guys.
Okay.
Only, excuse me, myself Naveen. So only Power Automate Desktop is sufficient, or any other tool like Power BI or Canvas, Power Apps. So many tools that available in the market. They are also looking for that tool skills. No?
Yeah, desktop is just I am showing you for a demo session. We will actually be learning all of this. This has Power
Mm-hmm.
Automate, Virtual Agent, apps, model driven, and all that. But if you go to market, they will actually look for some skill set in Power Platform. So there are candidates with Power Apps only. There are candidates with Automate Desktop only. But if you have a
Mm-hmm.
blend of all, why I picked up desktop in my demo session is because you should have some gist of it if you're not getting it covered in the syllabus, right? So if there are questions
Okay.
asked in the interview, you should be able to tell, yeah, I have some knowledge about it, but I did not get a chance to have a hands-on experience like working with clients for desktop flow. You can say that you did not get a chance to, but you have experience in Power Apps, Power Automate Cloud, virtual agents, model driven, and stuff like that. Even BI, for that sense, BI can be a part of the advanced power platform sessions. In the next few
Mm-hmm.
days I'll add it to the syllabus. But yeah, so with BI skills as well, you are good to go for a job, I should say. BI is a booming thing in the market.
Okay.
Hi, myself Fanindram. I have a couple of questions. I know it's a bit early to ask this, but yeah. So
That's fine.
can we automate something from Cloudflow to a desktop thing? I mean, is there any connection between these two?
Yes, absolutely. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
we work with desktop flows, to
Mm-hmm.
actually trigger a desktop flow, we use the Power Automate cloud. So
Oh,
for the Power Automate desktop itself to be triggered, a cloud flow is used. So a person who knows Power Automate desktop has to have knowledge on Power Automate cloud. Power Automate cloud will be the base for all the RP developers.
okay. And second thing is like I do have 7 years of experience with RPA Blue Prism and bit of
Okay.
UiPath. So my question here is like I just want to switch my career to Power Platform.
Mm-hmm.
So how, I mean, till what point this course will take me? Like can I I mean, say like I had 3 years of experience in Power Platform and then go into a job,
Your
something like
total
that.
experience is 3 years, right, in Blue Prism?
In Blue Prism, in Blue Prism it's almost like 5 years, and with
Okay,
UiPath it's like 2 years, like total 7 years.
perfect. So in that case, you may say that you have 2 years of UiPath, say 3 years of Blue Prism, and 2 years in Power Platform. So you
Mhm.
may say that you have worked on POCs in something, and you can actually go with many organizations in the market who are working with RPA, and they have a blend of technology. They actually look for candidates who have come from Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Blue Prism, Power Platform, a blend of it. Because
Okay.
whenever we are working with a new technology, the previous experience does matters. Some things which are not possible in Microsoft can be done in UiPath.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
absolutely.
are things. Yeah. So we do look for such candidates as well in the market. I mean, I myself take interviews for my organization. So I do look into such candidates where they come with a blend of opportunities in Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Blue Prism, and they also have RPA experience in desktop flows or Power Platform. And you should just be able to talk, is what we
Okay.
expect. Because when you are client facing, when you're working with any organization, you should
Mhm.
know how to explain your concepts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Any more questions, team? Please feel free to ask.
Hi Prasha, just it's Rohit again. I just wanted to know, like, through the course, the data sources that we'll be connecting to, would it be SharePoint Online and Dataverse, or
So,
is
yes, I will take you through the data connectivity with OneDrive for Excel, Dataverse, and SharePoint on the go. But I can also guide you on how are we connecting with the SQL server, the SAP servers, and all that. Reason for only guiding you that is we will have a premium connectivity for the SQL server, which is actually available when you're working with organizations. If you're using a developer account, I will show you how a developer account works. It is restricted to premium connectors. We will have in-house connectors already available, which we can use on the go. If you have basic knowledge on connectors, maybe you'll understand standard and premium connectors. So it will not allow you to have a connectivity like a successful connection, but yeah, I can show you the clicks, where to go, what to put, and other details. If you have the live details, the actual SQL server details, you will be able to crack that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Disha, just adding to the same question what Roy had mentioned. So,
Yeah.
will we like covering kind of power functions, especially when we are connecting with SQL Server and calling the store procedures on the Power Apps?
Not really. This is not a part of the syllabus. This is more of an advanced topic when stored procedures come into picture. Stored procedures are pro coders, which we are learning low code, no code now, and it is actually not required when we are working with direct connections. Stored procedures will actually be helpful when you have firewall restrictions, when you're not directly able to connect to the SQL server from Power Automate. Then we go with stored procedures. But
Okay.
with the actions available in Cloudflow, we should be able to any open SQL server that we have.
Like just in some in like in terms of like concept and steps involved. So the process as a whole. So
Mm-hmm.
will we be covering it, or so it's not part of the syllabus?
No, SQL stored procedures is not a part of the syllabus. We will just be looking how to connect. Writing
Mhm.
stored procedures, I can definitely help you on that, but that's not a part of the syllabus.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Shall we move or any more questions, team? Okay. So, like I said, what is Power Automate Desktop? It is a tool to build your desktop flows. We actually have a Power Automate Desktop application within Windows, which we can download and sign in with our developer account, and you'll be able to get a gist of it. It actually broadens the RPA capabilities in Power Automate, and it is called as pad, which helps us to create, edit, and run the automation. Power Automate Desktop, short form is pad, and it allows you to connect to multiple machines on with and Power Automate Cloud. So when I say that, it is actually helpful for VMs when you're working with your clients in the organization. Power Automate Desktop will help you connect with multiple VMs on the go and connect to the cloud. So these are some reasons why we use desktop as well. So it actually streamlines the modern and legacy application. Like I said, Salesforce, SAP, if they have to be moved to SharePoint or something like that, some organizations do say that. Also, some organizations are moving from UiPath to Power Automate Desktop because of the licensing cost. That's one benefit of Power Automate. uh, we can actually use our workflows to streamline that. It receives input via mouse, keyboard, and actions. Like I said, the web recorder thing. The repetitive actions are recorded and recorded by the technology across several applications. So we do not have limitations on the apps we should use. So it will open Excel, capture from Excel. It will open web page, capture from any web page, any SFTP servers, SQL servers. It will take the clicks of it until we provide proper credentials and login IDs. So we are not restricted to any applications as of now in Power Automate Desktop. And talking about the Excel files, PDFs, and other automations, that is carried actually smoothly in the Power Automate Desktop. It is possible to build a automation across organization, enabling more than 400, not actually 400, 1000 now connectors available in Power Automate. So we have connectors available for Office 365, SQL, SharePoint, and say whatnot. So there are like 1000 plus connectors available in the Power Automate to connect to our automation. And it is equally accessible in all languages. When I say languages, I can write a code in JSON, HTML, C Sharp, and that should not be a problem for me. It works absolutely fine. All right. When to use RPA, that is desktop automation. To run any commands, I can use RPA. To obtain a text from the clipboard, use an Exchange server for IMAP, execute any SQL statements. Coming to your point, sir, where you said for stored procedure, we need not write any stored procedure. We can actually execute the statements right from the connectors available in Power Automate desktop. Also, obtaining a file from the web page can be done through desktop automation. If I want to open the file explorer, can be done. Launch a program like launch Excel right away on the go, and scripting in PowerShell. So these are all the times where we use desktop automation. These are some benefits of desktop automation. Desktop app automation is easy. Again, that's easy to create because it is drag and drop. When APIs are not available, if you guys have some basic understanding of API is actually used to connect to the client servers. There is a web page, or you can say their database. When they are not available, we actually go with APIs. We use the VMs and other like service bus. Sorry about that. Yeah. So that's when we can use our desktop automation. And when we have a dependency on any device, we can go with desktop automation. When the word dependency says I cannot restrict my machine to do some automation all the time, right? So I will be using a VM, like a virtual machine, to do my desktop automations. It is quick to test and immediate returns are expected. So on the go itself, drag and drop, create the flow and quickly run the flow. It will just execute and give you the results. Legacy apps can be connected with when no APIs are available. Legacy apps, say Salesforce, some people have been using Salesforce, or say the old SQL servers and all that things. Those have now been considered as legacy because the um, Dataverse and SharePoint is taking over the market. So that is one reason. So with this desktop flows as well, we have two types of flows, attended and unattended. The word attended itself means there is someone who's taking care of it. Guys, please just give me 1 minute. Okay. So attended and unattended. There are two types of flows, I can say, that are a part of Power Automate desktop automation. Attended is when there is someone who's taking care of the flow. Like I have created a desktop automation where there will be an Excel getting open, copying the details, writing an email, sending it to my manager. Now there is a block stage where the manager will have to take it further. He will have to approve and then take it further. So the manager is a point of contact who is like a staff here, who is handling the task, and once he completes the task, then the next steps will be initiated. So human intervention in any cloud flow, in any desktop flow, is called as an attended flow. On the other hand, when we go to unattended flow, there is not much of human intervention. The bot is initialized, it will read an email, open the Excel file, write the information from Excel, and end the task. So these two types of flows are actually preferred in desktop automation, attended and unattended. Any questions so far?
Attended flows is a human interaction.
Yes.
Okay. Just that is also manual creation, or that is also an automated work for the attended flows.
So when I say
So
attended,
when I
it
say
means like,
attended, it means like,
sorry, voice is getting
sorry,
echo. Can
voice
you
is
mute?
getting echo. Can you mute?
Yeah. So whenever I'm creating a flow, there will be some steps that the bot will be initializing. Like here, it is collecting the data, or either there will be a human who will be triggering the flow and the bot will be involved. So it goes two
Okay.
ways.
So
Either
it
the
goes.
bot is initializing or the human is initializing, but there is human intervention. So if it is initialized by a staff member here, the bot is doing something, again it is going back to the staff, doing something, coming back to the bot. So there is more of a human intervention here. It will be in a block state if the staff member is not putting in any updates on that or not performing any task, what it's expected to. Yes, did I answer your question?
Question.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the components of Power Automate Desktop. So the Power Automate Desktop Designer works in two ways. There is a console and there is a flow design. So the console is the main control where you will be able to launch the flow, design the flow, create, edit the flow, and it you can actually delete, update, or do whatever from the console. But a flow designer is a place where your flow will be built. You will be performing debugging options, drag and drop. So this is where it is. This is the flow designer. We have some elements available. When you just expand the variables, there will be initialize variable action. You can just drag and drop over here. This is your console. And this is how the Power Automate desktop looks like. So flow designer is more of into the Power Automate desktop. You have toolbar option on the top where you can save. The button here looks like a circle with a dot. Like it's a recorder. That's the web recording option available to us in Power Automate desktop. Sorry for my bad throat, please. And then we have the subflow option where you will be able to add the child flows. The main flow will be visible. You'll be able to add more flows and call those same flows in your main flow. Then we have the action panes over here where you can launch Excel from here, initialize a variable, call your child flows and stuff like that. So there's a drag and drop feature available. Once we do that, we'll be having a save option, run option. We can also pause in between and move to the next step. Then we have workspace, which shows you all the action. This is the workspace. Then we have the input and output variables as well. When we are initializing a variable, we are storing some value into it. We will be able to see the variables, what they are showing, what value they have. And then we have all the flow variables that are used. That is how the Power Automate Designer looks like. I can show it to you once we are live, but this is all the overview of Power Automate Desktop. So this was for the demo sessions. Any questions?
Hi Prashant, this is Rohit here again. When we are going through this course, what would be the percentage of like the focus on these various tools in the suite, like say Power Automate for cloud, Power Apps, or Virtual Agent? And do we really need to focus on the desktop version, Power Automate?
So, Rohit, desktop was just to give you an overview. We will not be covering desktop in our sessions. We will be more focused towards Power Apps, Canvas apps, and Power Automate Cloud. Model driven app as well. Because of the market constraints, I will be covering model driven app as well, but I will be emphasizing more on the Canvas app because it has lot to learn as compared to model driven app. And even Automate, Power Automate Cloud for that sense, has huge information to deep dive.
Thank you, Prasha. Okay, thank you.
Yes, team, any more questions?
Please.
So during this training session, so for the lab purpose, so will he be like providing an account, or it is something that we will be using the free account, like we'll be having some test accounts, right?
So there will be a developer account which all of us will be creating in the initial session that will be used for all our demo purposes. That is done through our personal email IDs itself. Like if you have a Gmail ID, we can create a demo developer account from Microsoft.
So we have to use the same accounts throughout the sessions, and we'll be able to create all the concepts and generate that lab exercises.
Yes, yes. So developer account actually provides you the leverage of creating a development environment, and it is not limited to standard E3 license that we have. But yeah, premium controls might not be used because premiums have a cost to it. But it is possible in a developer account with all the standard components.
Okay.
So Fanindra again, what is the duration of this course?
This would be a 1 hour session every day for 7 to 8 days, basis on the grasping skills that I see. Because I have covered um, one-to-one sessions in 7 days where the person can grasp that much. If I see that there is a barrier and you are not able to adapt, I would actually slow down my pace, and that sessions might go to say 10 or 12. We have some set sessions what is to be covered in session 1, 2, 3, and so on. But if it is not possible, if I see that you're not able to adapt, I will definitely have to stop, and maybe we can move a little in that sense. So max 15 days should be what you can consider.
Okay, so 15 days, are you talking just about, I mean, just for the Power Automate, or is it for the entire
The
course?
entire syllabus.
Entire syllabus, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
50 days. I mean,
15.
two months.
1 5.
1 5.
Oh, only 1 5. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's not really
It's
aggressive.
not really
You cannot,
aggressive. You cannot,
Sorry.
sorry?
the 15 days
The 15
duration
days
is
duration
kind of
is
aggressive
kind of
approach. Is it?
aggressive.
Do you think everybody is like, can we cope up with this speed? Like the beginners and middle level.
Yeah, that's the reason I have to take. So you all will not be in one batch, there will be two separate batches, and basis on the beginner and the experience levels, I will be separating, and the pace needs to be analyzed in the first few sessions, and then I can take it further. If I see that there is more attention required for few candidates, I'll have to give slower sessions to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more questions,
Any
guys,
more
before we
questions,
wrap up?
guys, before we wrap up?
Hey, hi Prisha, this
Hey,
is
hi Prashant,
Nikhil
this is
Desai.
Nikhil Desai.
So,
Okay.
can you tell more
Can
about
you tell
the
more about
final
the
project?
final
Like,
project?
will it
Like,
be a advanced one? Hello?
Yes, Nikhil.
Yeah, yeah. So I was asking, like, what about the final project? How advanced it will be? Uh,
So the final project will actually be created by you by with the task that I give every day. I will
mhm.
be taking you through one by one component, step by step in each session, and I will be giving you tasks by end of the day. You will have to implement, and it should be more like an application that you will be ready with to show or to present when I say present, to talk about it in your interviews. So whenever we go for an interview, there is always a question asked by the panel which says, can you talk about any use case that you have created? So I will make sure that you guys are ready with either one use case by end of this session to talk about in your interview, like what all things you have implemented, what were the challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. That is the reason I just asked because for whenever the interview will go on, that the final project is
Yeah.
something which will be
Yes,
something which
mentioned
will
in
be
your
stated,
profile.
yeah, in the interview. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there will be tasks given to you, and I will also write down how the use case you will have to describe in your interview sessions. So I think that should be covered with me.
Okay. And second thing, I was going with some of the JD of few of the interviews, and there they mention about the virtual agents and the ALM. So in this
Yep.
course, how like same like how advanced it will be, like what all topics will be covered under those.
The first
So
slide,
any,
which says
yeah,
syllabus, I have mentioned all of it, where virtual agents will be a part of it, and also ALM will be the part of the PowerApps Canvas app itself. ALM is actually development to deployment, application lifecycle management. So I think that should be covered for you as well.
The
okay,
session
right.
timings are fixed, right? So it would be the same time on every day, morning 7:30. Is that fixed?
Sorry.
Every day is the session timings are fixed. The same timing it's going to happen.
I will have to get in touch with the coordinator for Visualpath, and she will actually set up the batch, and we will set up in two ways so that people who are comfortable with the morning can attend the morning. The ones who are available with the evening can attend the evening. So we can make it in two if we have a team strength of that much, because the maximum I can accommodate in one batch is 6 people, or 5 or 6 actually. So if there is more than 5 or 6, I'll be moving it to the next batch so that I can give proper attention to each candidate, and that's how it will be done.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another question, Prasha, for the basic security settings that would be required for the app, will that topic be also covered? Like, for the basic security, we need to look at the app, not
Uh,
just user management, like
mhm. So,
uh,
Rohit,
to ensure.
basically, yeah, I understand your question, what you're coming from. So, whenever we set up an app, we take care of the development part as developers. We actually have an admin person taking care of the security roles for our organization every time. I will be covering the admin center part as an overview in the sessions, but I can give you a gist of how the security roles works and all. It's good to know information, but you might not have to take care of that whenever you're developing an app in the organization. There will be altogether a different team. We have the infrastructure team in all the organization who take care of all of these security roles, DLP policies, and all of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I'm Fanindra again. So, what is? I
Yes.
mean, I just had this doubt. Like, what would be the duration of a project, a medium-sized project, in the when?
Whenever we are working with low code expects quick results. Any application created in low code should not go more than 21 working days in any organization at a complex level. So that is for a complex 21 days. So you can calculate a small size will not be more than 11 days. A medium will not be more than 18 days. When I say days, it is working days. Okay.
No, got it.
Yeah. So that is the expectation in the market as well, because low code, no code gives quick results, and that's the reason the world is moving to low code, no code instead of the pro coders with .NET, C Sharp. Those are legacy systems which take like 2 months, 3 months for an app creation development, but we with low code it is supposed to be 21 days max.
Got it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we can end the session here. You guys can get in touch with the coordinator for the details of the session from tomorrow. One thing would be there, if you would expect a weekend batch, please do mention that we want sessions on the weekend as well. And if people are looking for weekend specific, like 2 3 hours on the weekend, we can plan that as well. Please get in touch with the coordinator and let me know. Let them know, actually, that will be fine. Okay.
Thank you for the session. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Rohit.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.